I am scared of heaven. Viewer discretion is advised. Genuinely, if the afterlife or lack thereof is a sensitive topic for you, you can just scroll. Please take care of yourself. Usually there are two different views of heaven that people believe. The first one is that you will be happy eternally worshiping God, singing hymns, bowing down on your knees, etc. Which, first of all, why would a loving God want or need eternal worship? Being stuck with billions of people bowing down a gazillion times forever and ever doesn't sound fun to me. The second view that people have is that heaven has similar settings and objects as Earth does. Like golden roads and gorgeous beaches, and you can do whatever you want forever. But that's the problem. You can do whatever you want forever. Forever is a concept that cannot even be imagined by humans. Imagine the length of the entire time you've been alive. Now multiply that by 1 billion. Now multiply that by 1 trillion. And that is not even a snap compared to eternity. You can read every book ever written an unlimited amount of times. I could paint every painting that could possibly exist. But will you meaningfully enjoy doing any of it? You can do every possible thing ever, trillions and trillions of times, and that won't even be a fraction of forever. A millionth of a second is equivalent to 1,000,000 years. Because in eternity, there is no such thing as time. Alright, next thing. In heaven, and I quote, "There shall be no more death, nor sorrow, nor crying, nor pain." Let's say your passion on earth was, random example, basketball. What meaning can basketball have if you can't fail at it? If you make the shot every time, it is no longer special. There is no pain or disappointment from missing a shot, so what is the meaning? Also, materialistic things like fancy cars and diamonds would mean absolutely nothing because everybody has an unlimited supply of everything. People are gonna say, but there's no sadness, so it wouldn't bother you. But then is that really me? And that leads me to the next thing. How can you be perfect and happy all the time and still be yourself? Who are you without your sadness? Are your sad memories erased? Your memories are a part of who you are. Some will say you can look back at your sad memories without being sad. If I don't feel sadness looking back at sad memories, that means either my brain has been altered or the memories have been altered. Let's say your whole family makes it to heaven. If everyone is perfect, are there arguments or disappointments? And if not, is that really your family? If I can't have a disagreement with my mom, is she really my mom? If my brother doesn't annoy me sometimes, is he really my brother? In heaven, everything we say or do has to be completely moral and good as to not cause suffering or sin. Everyone would have to have the same opinions on everything. And if everyone's view of paradise is different, how can we all be in the same place? To me, paradise would be hanging out on the beach with my loved ones. To somebody else, their paradise might be the world being made of ice cream and it never melts and never goes bad. Your view of paradise could be being in your favorite video game or movie. What if your view of paradise is wanting to help others, but nobody needs help? Because it's heaven. Back to the memories thing. Do we remember anything that happened on Earth? Will we remember our friends and family members who didn't make it to heaven? There is no pain and sorrow, so even if I did remember them, I wouldn't be able to miss them or have empathy for them. Let's say a mother goes to heaven and her daughter goes to hell. She either would remember her but not be able to feel sad about her being in excruciating pain forever in the pits of fiery hell, or the memories of her daughter whom she loved so much would just be erased. What if the only bad thing the daughter ever did was just not go to church? Rules are rules, so she gets forever torture. On to my next point. Whenever I ask a Christian why does God allow so much evil, they always say because God allows us the gift of free will, and without free will, we would just be robots. And there is no good without evil. Wait a minute, but in heaven there's no evil, right? There's no sin or sadness, and everyone is good and pure. Let me get this straight. You say that evil exists because we have free will. If we didn't have free will, we would all be robots. And also, heaven has no evil. Here on Earth, we're all sinners and nobody's perfect. But if we are made to be perfect in heaven, then wouldn't we all be exactly the same? Robots. How would our appearances change to be perfect? What does that look like? Would I just be a soul with no thoughts of my own, made to be artificially happy forever? Your soul will only feel happy about it, so you won't even care. I care now. And who am I without sin? If I wanted to eat an entire pint of ice cream, wouldn't that be gluttony? Am I allowed to do that in heaven? Can you sin in heaven? Can I litter in heaven? Would littering still be a sin even if it didn't cause any harm? Would the receipt I threw just poof away? In heaven, you won't even want to sin. So the desire I have right now on Earth to eat a pint of ice cream will be restricted somehow in heaven? Would my thoughts of sin be repressed? If some thoughts are repressed and some thoughts are given, then how do I know if any of my thoughts are my own? Am I allowed to opt out? Am I allowed to leave? Am I allowed to ask questions? Or would my mind somehow be altered to just accept everything and be happy about it? Before y'all try to be smart in the comments, obviously heaven is better than hell. But does that mean it's good? What's wrong with just going to where I was before I was born? I would rather just cease to exist than go to either of those places. Sure, before you were born, there were no joyous experiences, but there was also no death, sorrow, crying, or pain, or pressure to be perfect. There is just nothing, and that is what makes life meaningful. And the requirements to get into heaven also make no sense, and I can talk about that for hours. But yeah, does anyone relate to my feelings or have any of these same questions? Because I haven't really seen this talked about much. If you're interested about hearing more about this topic, this video goes really into depth and explains everything much better than I can. Thanks for letting me